Welcome to Real Men Eat Plants, the podcast that challenges the stereotype that a plant-based diet is only for Eve's offspring and green smoothie anarchists. We're here to show you that real men can thrive on a plant-based diet, and that it's not only good for your health, but also for the planet, animals, and most importantly, your libido. Okay, maybe your libido shouldn't be more important than the planet, but we're just being realistic here. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of plant-based living, sharing inspiring stories, exciting plant-based news, and highlighting the achievements of individuals who have embraced this empowering way of life. So grab that green smoothie and settle into your favorite spot, and let's embark on an exciting journey together. Real Men Eat Plants is your hub for inspiration, information, and connection within the vibrant world of plant-based living. And now, here's the host of Real Men Eat Plants, Shane Martin.
All right, we are live, so thank you all for being here. I've got the pleasure of filling in for Shane Martin, who's usually our host today on the Real Men Eat Plants podcast, but I am Bryan, one of the co-founders of Real Men Eat Plants, and I'm filling in for Shane, and we have some great guests lined up today to just unpack some more topics around Real Men Eat Plants. So I wanted everybody to just say hi and give a quick introduction. And who wants to kick us off? Paul, say hello.
Hi, my name is Paul Chatlin. I am the founder of the Plant-Based Nutrition Support Group, the only national support group in the plant-based world. And I'm also the co-founder of the Sage Circle Alliance. And I would love to share a little bit about that when the time is right.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul, for being here. Brett, welcome to the program.
Thanks. Good to be here. My name is Brett Christoffel. I'm the founder and CEO of All Y'all's Foods, a mission-driven plant-based proteins company. We have a line of jerky and bacony bits, and we're here putting a whole new twist on Texas protein traditions.
And last but not least, Mr. John Tanner, thank you for being here. Great to connect with you again.
I'm glad to be here. I'm a cardiac arrest victim. But then following that, I founded the Nutrition Science Foundation, NUSCI, with a mission to just get the word out about how you don't have to suffer cardiac arrest. And then we also started a healthy food company, Little Green Forks, that ships fresh meals throughout the 48 states.
That is awesome. And I know we spoke on a different show, Plant Based on Fire podcast, a while back. And I have to say, your website is so jam-packed with amazing advice, nutrition facts, everything else. So thank you for really pulling together that awesome resource for us all. So today I thought we would pick and throw out a couple different topics and sort of see, I don't know if, I guess each of you have sort of picked a word, and we're going to just maybe talk about that and see where the conversation goes. Paul, do you want to tee us up and kick off our topics today?
Thanks for letting me go first, as always. I would like to use the word humility. Today and over the last period of time, I've acknowledged that being humble is something that I live with every single day. And throughout the 12 years of being whole food plant-based, I've met a lot of different interesting people. And some have been just beauties from God, and some have been a little bit more difficult. And yet, I think anybody who's trying to help people, they're okay in my book, up to a point. Because the up to the point is always the business side sometimes. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. But I've now, through the efforts with the Sage Circle Alliance, have come to realize that those people who I may have at one point said, it doesn't work, I'm now re-engaging with them under the spirit of we all need to work together as one if we're going to grow this movement, which really isn't a movement, but it's more of a whisper at this point in time. But I think that all these years later, we've got some new personalities, new dynamics, and a new opportunity to bring everyone together. So my word of the day and my mantra for the last couple of months has been being humble and being appreciative of this moment, this day. And the fact is, I feel pretty great every day. And why should I be mad at anybody or upset when I feel pretty damn good every day? So that's my word of the day for everybody is humility.
Awesome. Anybody got any initial reactions to that? I guess I jump in and say, I guess I'm curious, Paul. I want to throw it back at you and ask you, as you get older, do we become more humble? Like I
No.
definitely feel like I was more bold and brash way back when, and I'm mellowing out as I get older. No?
Well, I can only speak for me. The answer is no. It's a hard no. In fact, only because I think as I've gotten older, I draw personal lines that I would never have drawn in the past. If people who know me, when they say, well, don't take it personal. My answer is I take everything personal. However, I'm working on compartmentalizing and understanding, that people aren't exactly where I am. Not everybody. They should be, but they're not. And I think that as I get older, it's a challenge. But the difference being is that when I was younger, I just didn't give a shit. Okay. Now I really do give a shit. So there's the difference. There's where I draw the line, because as much as it would internally disappoint, upset me, make me think twice, I always go back to, we all have to work together. We are real men who eat plants. Do you know how small a group that is? I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy small. Okay. And today, because I do know John and I've just met Brett and I know you, Bryan, we're all business guys. We're all trying to not only take our message and monetize and be successful, but and we can't do that by ourselves. We just can't, because we're not big enough to do it by ourselves. So what do? We learn to work together. And that is something that I have learned, especially since the SCA started, that, I don't have every answer. I need help. So that's the humility part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brett, John?
Well, let me start with the humility word. My day job is running a electronics, mechanical engineering, and robotics company. We just celebrated our 35th anniversary. So, from the standpoint of a business person, I have something to be proud of. Like, I think I can know how to do this. But for the last 10 years, I've been trying to run a food company and losing money every day. I have not figured it out. So it's forced me to be kind of humble. I think you guys have heard this before, but and Brett, maybe you've got it figured out, and I want to learn from you. But with a food company, you can be assured that you will end up with a small fortune as long as you start with a large fortune. So that's my humble story. Brett, your word was thankfulness or something along that line. Gratitude. If I can share just a quick little sort of sad story. When I had my cardiac arrest, I was running through my neighborhood, as I had every day for 5 years, and all of a sudden I, stumbled a couple of steps and hit the ground unconscious. Person across the street saw me go down. They were visiting their younger family that lived there, older people from the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. They were visiting. The wife, grandma, saw me go down, called to her husband, who came out and started giving me chest compressions right away. Complete stranger. They didn't even live in the state. And this guy came out without knowing anything and started giving me chest compressions. The firemen were there 4 minutes later and took over from him. But, those were 4 critical minutes. That guy saved my life. I every year I send out a thanks to them, and this time I got back a statement that this guy had just died. He had something called Guillain-Barré syndrome that came on, and just a few weeks he went from being healthy to dead. And this so there's 2 parts of thankfulness there. One is thanks to this guy who didn't know me, complete stranger, came out, saved my life. I thank him intensely. The other thing is thankfulness in understanding that this life is a precious thing. It can be taken from us anytime for lots of different reasons. Hopefully the main reasons that we die, we've eliminated by switching to a plant-based diet, but still life is precious. And I'm just thankful that I'm alive today.
Awesome. Great story, John. Thanks for sharing that.
Very cool. So to speak to humility, so my investment relations guy, his name is Joe Milam. He's with Angel Span. And in the beginning, when I started realizing I needed to raise money, he said, "What's your secret sauce?" I'm like, "I don't know. I care. I don't know." So I thought about it, came back the next day, and he said, "You figure it out?" And I said, "It's humility." He goes, "Exactly." And I can't explain it. In other words, I have a confidence. I mean, I'm not the brightest guy on the on the block, but I'm not the numbest brained either. The thing is I'm always open to input. I'm always open to ideas, and I'm not always right. I don't have a need to be right, and that's gone a long way. And John, as far as making money in the food business, I don't know how people do that. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about that more after the podcast, if you like. I've got some ideas. And for me, gratitude is everything, because there's always, I realized this is years ago. I realized years ago, there's always people who are going to have more, and there's always people who are going to have less. And I can choose to be grateful or bitch about everything. And I actually had a friend tell me as a young person, he said, if you didn't bitch, you wouldn't talk. I was like, and I run into people like that today, and I'm like, oh my God, I was difficult. So I'm extremely grateful. And what I remind people is, look, if you have a hard time being grateful for the things you have, then try being grateful for the things you don't have that you don't want, because you'll find a whole lot right there. And that's it for now.
I like it.
No, that's awesome. I think for me, I don't know. I guess I thoroughly enjoy helping other people and like serving them where I can. And so I guess I don't know. My hero has always been my grandfather in my life, and he has passed on at this. He just was the perfect pinnacle of humbleness and servant leadership, and so I definitely try to follow that Paul wherever I can on that front. And yeah, gratitude. I don't know. I guess there's get a little existential here or something like that, but like do we have free will on this planet, or is everything like predetermined on that front? Because without all the people that have led the plant-based life before me coming together to put together Forks Over Knives, the movie that influenced me so much, I'm eternally grateful to I guess Rip Esselstyn and some of the other people that were behind that movie that had a significant life-changing moment in my life. I watched that movie. I know Paul and John have had these serious events, and that was the moment that changed their life, kind of thing. Like for me, it was that movie. I walked out of it and I changed, and I hope I've avoided a heart attack or other situations and stuff. So I'm eternally grateful to that group of people that have paved the way for me to help avoid that when I'm older or whatever, even when I'm running or something like that myself. So yeah, I think that was it on that front.
Bryan, quick comment on that. I define intelligence as those who switch to a plant-based diet before they have cardiac arrest. I was not intelligent. You are. So congratulations.
And you say, we say this a lot on this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, go on the Real Men Eat Plants website, sign up for the 30-day challenge, go and get your cholesterol and blood checked, and then try vegan for 30 days, try plant-based for 30 days, whatever it is that you want to put that term around, and then go get your blood checked again. And you will be surprised at the end of 30 days what that looks like.
What I find interesting is, and again, I don't want to broad brush certain age groups, but if you're younger than 40, because my oldest son is now 40, it's like they can't play, they don't see the long game. You could give them all the science, you could lead by example. But the great majority of younger people, they don't see that long game. They look at tomorrow, the next day after. And it's interesting when I have a son who's whole food plant based, and he's 40 and he's been that way for a few years. Bryan, you're younger, you're whole food. So you saw Forks Over Knives. My son saw me and the changes I made. And, I just wish that we could, just share something with that younger generation, science, example, whatever it might be, so they could look at this long game. Because before you know it, you'll be John and Paul's age. And, if you don't make the changes, things will happen to you like that happened to John and myself.
No, I was going to say, I think a great idea is we call it Day on the Kill Room Floor. And they go and they spend an hour killing 200 cows on the kill room floor. That's about what they kill in an hour, 200. And see what that feels like. See how they embrace that. And then work the rest of the slaughterhouse for the rest of the week. And then see if that's really what they want to do, is eat meat. Okay, maybe not a really good idea, but I think about it.
but it's that shock factor that maybe it does it. Like, I think each person has their story around whether it's the health, the environment, the animals on that front.
Well, so the younger people love a lot of horror movies, and they're brutal. I mean, just brutal movies. And it's like
worse.
Well, exactly. And it's like, well, why don't you enact that on an animal? Because you're paying someone to do that when you either buy it at the store or you order it in the restaurant. So why don't you get in touch with what you're really creating and see how that lands for you?
Yeah, it's interesting about that. I've always said to people that dogs and cats, they won the life's lottery, because we love our cats, we love our dogs. But if we were to have, let's say, sheep and goats as our house pets and ate dogs and cat, I mean, it's always amazing to me that somebody could just love on their dog and their cat like it's the most important person in the world to them, and then eat meat. I've never understood that connection.
But because that's how we're raised. We were raised compartmentalizing animals. These we protect, and we will go to court and we will harm you if you mess with. And these we're going to breed and brutalize and kill by the millions or billions, and not think two things about it. It's insanity is what it is.
But how do we get some change? Like, what's the magic wand that would take people to say, whoa?
Remove the walls of the slaughterhouse, so people have to embrace that. I mean, that's what had me turn a corner I couldn't get back from. Now, it didn't stop me from eating meat at the time, but going forward, once I spent maybe, I'm being honest, 20, 30 minutes watching Earthlings, and I was done. I couldn't handle it. I mean, just brutalized me. And it's like, no. But I still ate meat. But I thought about the life and the death of that animal. And then one day it clicked that it was like someone flipped a switch or raised the veil, and it was like all animals are present where they don't want to die. And I turned to my wife and I said, I'm done eating meat. And it wasn't a decision. It wasn't like, I'm going to decide not to harm thee. It just happened. It was like a knowing. And then there was like, well, I can't go back from that. I don't want to, because it's no longer an option. But I think the realities of what they're supporting, as well as people are more concerned, especially the younger people, about sustainability. It's like, look, compared to beef jerky, I use 10% of the land, fuel, and water to produce my proteins. 10%. And it's got more protein. So, and it's full of fiber. So I'm hoping facts and knowledge and awareness will help turn the key for a lot of people. Because they say in 10 years that 10% of the population will be plants only.
Another way that we can reach out to young people is the movie The Game Changers. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. And I love Forks Over Knives. That has saved so many lives, but it's probably the message is going to resonate with older people. But The Game Changers, that's another thing. You want to be strong, you want to be fast, you want to have incredible stamina. And then there's that little section in there where they talk about better sex life. Yeah.
Yeah.
The young people might glom onto that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I don't know if y'all know about it, but Kip is on the board of Rowdy Girl. We serve on Rowdy Girl board together, but he did What the Health and Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy. But he's got a new one, Christspiracy, that comes out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Be
I've
excited.
been seeing the advertisements for that. Yeah. So
That's gonna open a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes.
I haven't had the cow milk in, I don't know, it's whatever. It's probably been at least 9 or 10 years. But but I put the cashews together with just a little bit in the Vitamix kind of a thing, and you let that go for 5 or 10 minutes, and like that to me looks just like milk. I bottle up that and put that on my cereal or whatever, like, and just to let them do the taste test. Like I don't know. I don't think there is a difference at this point, but just to know. Like milk is getting so expensive. The meat is getting so expensive at the store. And just to say like, look, for $20 worth of cashews, I basically have milk for almost a year. All you need to do is put water and a little bit of electricity and boom, I've got my own milk made at home. And they say the plant-based milks are expensive. And I go, not if you make it yourself. It's water and a couple cashews and you're done. So
Or oats.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, any of them.
It's interesting. There's so many plant milks, and what the one thing they have in common is they're white. We have built into our mind that we need to have white substance. I try to eat healthy, fresh, whole plants whenever I can, but sometimes on travel, you're in a hotel and they have the built-in breakfast that comes with the room, and you go down there and there's some cereal like Raisin Bran and Cheerios and stuff.
Oatmeal.
You put that in the bowl, and what are you going to put on top of that? They have dairy milk. But I have, on occasion, put just water on it or orange juice on it. And
I was going to say, I do the orange juice. I do the orange juice on it.
It tastes good, though.
That's awesome.
It's different.
I'm glad I'm not the only one with the orange juice on my cereal.
But you guys are the only two.
Yeah. It's better than vodka, right?
That's true.
It depends.
Well, I know we're probably maybe about halfway through, Brett. So why don't you tell us more and give us the little lowdown on All Y'all's Foods?
Well, let's see. We make it's jerky, y'all, in 3 flavors. We got a 4th flavor coming out next month. I'd share with you, but I can't. But we've got a black pepper sea salt that tastes just like traditional black pepper jerky, except it's more tender. And then we've got a prickly pear teriyaki and a prickly pear chipotle, and we use the juice of the fruit of the prickly pear because it's the state plant of Texas. It's delicious and it's really good for you. And then our bacony bits taste like crisp, crunchy, well-cooked bacon. Every bag we sell, a portion goes to Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and what can I say? More beef. Or more protein, calcium, magnesium, and iron than beef, no cholesterol, no saturated animal fat, and it's full of fiber and phytonutrients. So I feel good about delighting and nourishing our customers, or the humans, if you will. We leave animals out of the equation, and then we use 10% of the land, fuel, and water to produce it.
What's your website?
allyallsfoods.com.
Are you in any of the stores nationwide yet?
We're in stores from LA to New York City. You can check our website to see where, and feel free to order directly from our website.
That is awesome. Thank you, Brett. So I have to say, I did order the wide variety pack, got a whole bunch. I shared it with all my family members, and they all loved it and came back for a couple more pieces. So I ran out, and I need to reorder because I shared it too much with my family. But it is delicious, and thanks for giving that little shout out, Brett.
Thank you.
I wanted to throw out just the word teamwork in that sense, because I really think that most of the women in my life, whether it's colleagues at work or church or just in the neighborhood or something, when I mention that based and head down that direction, they're curious, they ask some questions, and out of all the people I've converted to the plant-based lifestyle, most of them have been women. So it does take teamwork, in my opinion, for me to have come plant-based and learn from you and many others that I've spoken with. And I know it's taken a lot of teamwork to build some of the businesses that I've had and stuff, but I'm just trying to sort of see, what do you guys think is the essence of teamwork?
I would say a shared vision, or if the leader has a vision, that they share it and that everyone has buy-in, and then that's what you work towards, and then don't be difficult. Just, work together to accomplish whatever it is you're set to accomplish.
That's right. Do you have some thoughts?
Teamwork. Um, as Brett said, within a company, you really have to have a group of people that are willing to work with each other. That's so, so important. One of the things that I see is teamwork is there's uh, an annual medical conference called the Plant-Based Nutrition Healthcare Conference that brings in the leaders in research and application of plant-based diet to reversing diseases. And that group of people that organize that conference and bring together all the folks who give talks and share their time, I just find that incredible. It's that conference is mostly aimed at doctors and nurses, other healthcare professionals, but they'll let anybody in. And so I've been going for 10 years and trying to gather the information and then share it out with my group of people that come to my talks and stuff. But the organizers of that organization are pretty impressive in terms of working together.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll have to check that conference out. It sounds interesting. Paul, what's your thoughts on teamwork? You've got quite the team over there at PBNSG.
Well, I've been pretty blessed to have a team that's been with us for almost 7 straight years, the same team members. And we overlap responsibilities. If one's out, the other one picks up. I think it starts with just mutual respect, and now it's kind of friendship/love. I actually love these people. I am not their boss. I'm just one of them. And then that got even more pronounced for me as we have been working to create the Sage Circle Alliance, which is going to change how we do business. In the past, it would be, the hero. I would sit there. I'm nobody's hero. Brett. I like what you said. I'm not the smartest man. I always say that I'm the hardest working person. I'll outwork you. I'm not going to outthink you. But the way I look at it is, we have now brought 44 people together under the spirit of that they call radical interdependency. So instead of one person saying, this is what we're going to do, what we do is we create 9 subgroups, leadership, think tank, internal affairs, marketing, membership, and then people sign up to be part of it. And as a collective, whoever's in that group, they come up with a plan for that activity. So just recently we had 9 people getting together and we created our mission statement. We created our, value statement and our purpose. And now we're going to start working on the Speakers Bureau. What I like about it is, in the effort of teamwork is, in the past, I would be founder. That would be a title. Now I'm just one of 44. And my co-partner in this, she's 2 of 44. And we go on. And it's consensus building. We make a decision as a group. And I must admit to you that it's a new way of looking at business, but it's a way of running a business that will move us even quicker, because instead of working on one project at a time, we're working on 9 different projects at the same time. So to me, teamwork starts with respect. It's kind of surrounded by love, and it's being open to a new way of looking at how to run a business.
Awesome. I love those perspectives. I know we are heading into Thanksgiving week a little bit here soon. So I'm not sure if this episode will air Thanksgiving week or the week after or something, but talk to me about plans for the holidays and hopes for 2024.
Well, I guess one of the exciting things in my world right now is getting back to in-person meetings. My organization, the Nutrition Science Foundation, before COVID, we had over 100 events where we would invite groups of people into our office, and I would share with them what I'd been learning about the benefits of eating plants. And then we moved to a bigger building, a smaller building, but with a bigger conference room that we built out just so that I could have bigger groups to talk to. And before that could get finished, COVID hit. So then we shut down all the in-person stuff. After about 6 months, COVID wasn't going away. So we went online. And for several years, I did online presentations to groups of people. That allowed us to expand our reach, which was great. But part of the in-person thing was we could provide people with food so they could come to understand from their stomach and their tongue, this it can be really good, even though it's healthy. And that was missing from the remote sessions. And now we're back to COVID seems to be died down, knock on wood, that we can have in-person meetings again. We had one a couple of weeks ago that was, we showed the movie Forks Over Knives, Bryan, your favorite, and provided a dinner as well to a group of a room full of 40 people, shoulder to shoulder without wearing masks. And you could look them in the eye, and it was wonderful. Now in another 2 weeks, we're going to have my first talk where I'm addressing the group, sharing all the information with them, and we're looking forward to that. Sorry, these events, I know your podcast is going worldwide. Our in-person events are in the LA area. For the subset of people watching this that are in the LA area, please contact nusci.org, NUSCI.org, and we'd love to see you in person.
Awesome.
Are
There's
you
no
going to
Zoom
be?
component? You aren't letting people dial in?
Yeah. Are you going to have this on video?
I recorded one of my Zoom sessions, and that's on the website. So you can go to newsci.org, and right on the front page, you'll see a link to the recorded version. The recorded version is 90 minutes. The ones that are in person, I sort of got a captured crowd, so I can go longer. I talk for 2.5 hours, and in the middle of there, we break for about a half-hour dinner. I just wasn't able to go share that much information over Zoom. People would get tired of that. But there is a recorded version, 90 minutes. If you want the longer one, you're gonna have to come to LA.
Nice.
Or fly me somewhere else. I'll talk anywhere where you can get a group of people together.
That's awesome.
I've got one more thing that's coming up that we're excited about. Bryan, you mentioned 30-day program. We're trying to do this with Little Green Forks, our food company. And the website there is littlegreenforks.com. You can place your order and we'll ship it out via FedEx Overnight Express, get it the next morning. But for people who really understand the benefit of plant-based eating, we're providing food for them, but we're trying to pull new people in. And so we're really looking for people that are sick. And probably most of the people listening to your podcast are already well down the path of eating plants, so this wouldn't be for them. But if they,
Well, I think it's the wives bringing the husbands to listen. So speak straight to the husbands here.
if you want to get rid of your type 2 diabetes in a month, you want to get your cholesterol down in a month, go on a 30-day program where all you eat is healthy food. And to help promote this with Little Green Forks, we're again calling it the 30-day program, where people agree to eat only Little Green Forks food for 30 days. Yeah, there's a commercial component to that. We get a customer, but we're willing to, even though we're losing money on that food, we'll discount it even more if people will agree to our program. So what are they agreeing to? Get your measurements done ahead of time and share them with us. And then agree that you're only going to eat this food for 30 days. And at the end of that 30 days, get your blood test measurements again. We're looking for these dramatic stories, which we know happen, but we want to record them. For people that are willing to go beyond just anonymously sharing their data with us so that we can publish it in a medical journal or something, but they're willing to be more of a spokesperson and let us record before, what are the diseases you have that you want to get rid of? And then afterwards, wow, in 30 days, I'm not diabetic anymore. These are the stories we want to capture on video. And for people that are willing to go on video, we'll give an even bigger discount to that 30 days worth of food. So if you're interested in that program, go to littlegreenforks.com, there's a link on that page that says "Why Our Food," and you go to that page and it lists a bunch of reasons. And at the bottom of that is some information on our 30-day program. So, if you know
That's
somebody,
awesome, John. Thanks
send
for
them our way.
creating that. That sounds like a great one.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if this is the right time for this or not, but if you're not doing the 30-day program, but you just want to order some food from Little Green Forks, there's a coupon code called RMEP15, and that'll get you $15 off your first order. That is a total of $30 or more. So
Awesome. Thank you,
Very
John.
cool.
We appreciate that. Brett, what do you have coming up?
Yeah, nothing, nothing spectacular around Thanksgiving or Christmas. Just work and family, which is all good. But 2024, here's the thing: my first investor in my company, besides me, his name is Riz Bakari, and he is a vascular surgeon, Whole Foods plant-based doctor. Well, he's ethical vegan now, but he started there, and so I've been learning from him. I've always had an issue with food, and though I've dropped 100 pounds, I got a ways to go, and it continues to be a thing. I know that plants, regardless of the form they're in, are always a win over animal-based products, but I also know that our bodies behave a whole lot better on more whole and complete foods as opposed to highly processed and junk food, if you will, because junk food's good, but not good for you. And so that's the thing I face with my company and my product is our product actually has low or no sugar compared to most other jerkies, whether they're plant-based or animal-based, as well as sodium. And so I'm just taking lessons and I'm evolving, moving forward, and just excited and grateful to be doing what I'm doing. And I've never been passionate about things before, passionate about making money. Okay. I was in sales. What you're supposed to be. I was in corporate sales. The thing is in addition now to having this passion for what I'm up to and belief and for what I'm up to, I have a conviction because we're still killing 100,000 animals every minute of every day needlessly when all the protein and calcium we've ever needed is in plants. I've begun to call meat the hand-me-down protein, the pre-chewed protein, and refer to plants as first-generation proteins because they are. And one more thing, if you like entertainment, there was a movie in the 90s, the end of the 90s, called Office Space. And in that movie was a song called Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster. And I rewrote that rap song, Damn It Feels Good to Be a Vegan. It's on YouTube. Check it out.
All right.
Very cool. Yeah, I have watched that. You mentioned that last time we spoke, and that was an awesome rendition. So well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate all of you popping on the show here and hanging out with me for a few minutes here. Again, Shane will be back next episode, and you can check out more of Shane's stuff at shaneandsimple.com. We really appreciate all you real men coming together to hang out with us on the show and helping promote the plant-based lifestyle everywhere you can. I would love to have you guys back on the show whenever you have time and pop in. We'll always have, hopefully, 4 to 6 guys just hanging out talking like this. So thanks again for being here. Paul, give us a quick wrap up, shout out, what's going on in your neck of the woods for Thanksgiving and PBNSG.
Well, Thanksgiving is about family, and so I spend my time with my family and the love of my life, my wife. And in the meantime, in between family time, I still am. We're active. We got a lot of activities at PBNSG. In fact, I'm here to just promote. We have a half off sale to become a member. So instead of $20 a month, if you go onto our website, www.pbnsg.org, you could get a membership for $10 a month or $120 one time. We've got 16 activities every single month with speakers, culinary events, and specific support groups that touch every modality you could think of. And then along the way, the time that I'm going to be spending most of is the Sage Circle Alliance. And we are open to invite anybody to come on in and join us. We are going to be looking at that as you could call it an association. You can look at it as a union or collaboration. We call it an alliance. And come join us. All you have to do is send me an email, paul@pbnsg.org, and then we'll introduce you to a quick little questionnaire, a couple-minute meeting. So that's where the time we are going to pivot. I'm hoping pivot how we look at plant-based nutrition as we have for the last 12, 13 years experienced. So we've got some really big companies, big names associated with us. Bryan's part of it, and I'm blessed for that. And just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Happy. It's the food. Eat well, live long, enjoy.
Thank you all once again. Talk soon.
Thank you. Good seeing everybody. Nice meeting you, Brett. Good seeing you, John.
Good to see you, Paul. Thanks to Bryan and everybody else at Real Men Eat Plants. Good job.
Yeah. Bye, Bryan.
All right, you've reached the end of another enlightening episode of Real Men Eat Plants. We've revved up the man machine and explored the thrilling world of veggies. Remember, guys, flexing your manhood isn't about the size of the steak on your plate, but the strength of sprouts in your salad bowl. For those eager to continue their journey towards plant-powered masculinity, buckle up and head over to our website at realmeneatplants.com. There, you'll unlock access to exclusive content, mouth-watering recipes, and advice from the plant-based powerhouses themselves. Oh, and don't forget to follow us on social media for your daily dose of inspiration and connect with a community of men just like you who have joined the Plant Parade. Remember, it's not just about becoming stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. You're also becoming an eco-warrior, playing a vital role in the wellness of our planet. We appreciate your support and can't wait to catch up with you in the next episode. Until then, keep fueling your manhood with Mother Nature's pantry. And remember, with a sprig of humor, Real Men Eat Plants will be rooting for you until we meet again.